Okay, right, so the loaves have had a bench rest. The next job I'm going to do is get them into their bannetons for their final proof before they bake. So you can put these into like an oiled bowl or anything like that. You don't have these, but these are what I use to prove my loaves, and essentially it's just it's a form to hold the loaf itself. So what we're going to do next is shape them to put them into those. What we're going to do is shape what we call batards. But you can do any shape you want, and if you look online there are millions of ways to shape bread. So what I'm going to do is quickly give them a light flour, and then I'm going to put them into their final baskets. So if you wanted to just shape a ball, what you would do is when we did our bench rest, you do the same action. So you're kind of scooping it around, turning it into a tight ball, and that's all you need to do. This is slightly different. This is a little bit more an advanced technique. So we've got the smooth side here, and then the side underneath that the bread has been sticking to on the bench. What we'll do is flip it over. You can see the difference. This is all open and exposed. And what we're going to do now is first thing we do is pull it, gentle stretch, and fold it on top of itself. So to create it like a little parcel. Grab it by its sides and pull it out. You see, this is adding extra tension all the time. You can see it's becoming tense, but it's more relaxed than it was before. Pull it over into itself. I've got a little helper next to me. And then you start stitching it up like this. So you're stitching it over itself. Now this takes a while to learn. So if you want to do just a ball, go for that. Have a go at this as well. You won't get it right first time. If you do, then good on you. It is a difficult.
Keep trying.
Exactly, keep trying. That's the one. Then you just fold it on top of itself, and then kind of pull it towards you or away from you like that. You can see it's creating tension, and then we have our batard. Just leave that on the bench there, and all I'll do is it'll seal up underneath, and then we'll put it into the bowl. Do the same one, so we'll go through the whole process again. Just a little bit of flour. Again, we don't want to incorporate too much flour in this process, but you think if you start to incorporate too much, it doesn't stick. You get really big air holes, and also the flour. That flour it won't turn into gluten. So here we go. Right. So nice big pull at the bottom. Fold it up onto itself. You pull each side like this, and then turn it into a parcel. Left, right, a little bit like an envelope. Be left with a nice little bundle like this. On top, just gently stretch it out over itself. Be left with a little bundle like that. And then stitch, 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 stitch. You see it comes apart like that. Don't be afraid to go back and stitch it up again. There you go. It starts to stick to itself. Now if you have too much flour, that's not going to happen. It will just not stick. Then from the top here, you pull that down onto itself and then back over, and that's it. And then kind of pull it down the bench like that, so you get formed a nice tight parcel like that. And what's known in the industry is like there's a little bump there. And that's the kind of shape we're looking for. Now, when it goes into these baskets, and this is just really for these baskets, if you add a load of flour to them now, they're going to stick to this, because what happens is the flour here, as you put them in, will get wet, and then that becomes the thing it's trying to stop sticking to the basket, if that makes sense. The protein in the flours and the basket then become one. So what I've got here is this rice flour. The rice flour doesn't really have that much protein in it, so it won't turn into sourdough, if that makes sense. So a bit in the basket, it's already cured with rice flour. Scoosh it all around. Of course, if you've got any allergies or anything to rice flour, don't use it. A little bit on top, like that. And then what I do is I scoop it up, and I actually dip it in to the rice flour itself. Now what that does is it creates a really nice layer. And I put it into the basket. A nice layer so it won't stick. Okay.
Sourdough is very sour.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's right. Do you want to come and say hello to the camera?
Hello.
Yeah, that's my little helper. What's your name?
Louis.
That's right. So again, I'm picking it up, and I kind of let it fall between my hands like this, into the basket, into the rice flour, and then, as I've got the basket here, I just let it drop in, and it squeezes together just gently, and there you go. I'll show you. It's kind of like in there, just nice and relaxed. Now, depending on how lively your dough is, I put a bit of rice flour now around the edges, I want to make sure there's no sticking at all, because when you tip it out...
The dough is alive.
Well, that's right, dough is alive. What I do not want to do is when I tip these out for their final bake, is I don't want any of it sticking, because if it sticks, it starts to rip the dough, and at that stage the dough is very delicate, so you're going to get rid of all those lovely air bubbles and proving that's being formed. So now, as I was going to say earlier, I'm going to leave these for maybe like 2-3 hours, just depending on the ambient temperature, the kind of maturity of your dough. It just depends, and it's kind of this is experience when you come in. There are loads of different ways to tell it's proven. We'll come to that in the next video, but a really good one is if I show you now, this has just been shaped. It's underproved. If I had to put this in now, it'd explode everywhere. And if I show you, if I touch my finger and bang, it springs back really quickly. What we want to be looking for, have you washed your hands? What we want to be looking for is when we push it.
Good tip, Daddy.
Yeah, it's a good tip, isn't it? The indent kind of stays, comes back really slowly. Then we know it's ready to bake. But I'll show you that in the next video. So there we have it. 2 shaped, lovely petards of dough, ready to go in the oven. Cover them. You can prove those overnight. If you put them straight into the fridge, they can, in a cold fridge, they can stay like that overnight. And what they'll do is they'll gently prove. The flavours will get more sour. But 2 hours, check them. This should be good to go. See you in the next video.